Do you think that white people have some claim on America that people of other races don't?
Of course not. I mean, first of all, I'm a Christian, so I think God made everybody, and therefore everyone has equal value in his eyes. That's the essential value of every person is the same. But the idea that I harbor some sort of deep racial animus is like, I mean, I think there are a lot of criticisms you could level at me. I think sometimes I overstate the case, I get pissed, I can be very nasty. You've been on the receiving end of that. I know you can vouch for that. But the idea that I'm a, you know, that I mean, if you were to look at my texts or listen to my personal conversations or read my mind, you would find no instance where I'm like, I'm mad at black people. 100% of the people that I'm mad at are well-educated white liberals. In my mind, the sort of archetype of the person I don't like is like a 38-year-old female white lawyer with a barren personal life. That's who yells at me on airplanes. And so I always say to people like, you're racist.
Okay, let me
Actually, I'm not mad at black people. Like, what are you talking about?
Let me show you. Let me show you. I think why people react this way. I think we have a clip I just wanted to show you. Can you, Sydney? Can you play that?
In political terms, this policy is called the Great Replacement, the replacement of legacy Americans with more obedient people from faraway countries.
So Tucker, what's a legacy American?
People who were born here, black people, white people, Hispanic people, Asian people, people who are citizens, people who participated, generationally in our system. And a lot of them don't buy the program of the modern Democratic Party because it doesn't serve them. And so the center of the Democratic electoral strategy going forward, I'm not guessing, they talk about it constantly, you're a journalist, you must have noticed, is to bring in new people who will vote for them. Now that,
do you think,
let me just finish if you don't mind. This is not something that I made up or found on the internet. I don't even really go on the internet. This is something that Democrats, including, you know, the architect of Obama's last victory, have talked about at great lengths in pieces, monographs on television. They've written books about. So this is not like some crackpot Alex Jones.
Do you think when you talk about
this is the central strategy of the Democratic Party? So to be like, I can't believe you said that. I'm putting it back to that. I do believe in fairness, and I don't think you should ever hire someone on the basis of his race or sex. That's grotesque to me. It's a violation of the basic promise of the country, which is we're going to bring people from around the world who may look different, be from different backgrounds, but we're going to treat them all the same, which is to say specifically on the basis of their ability and their virtue, on the choices they make, not on the genes they have. That's Nazi shit. I'm against that. I'm serious.
So you keep having sort of explicit white supremacists who have, you know, on secret message boards who work for you, and you have to, I know this has been very painful for you in some cases.
I've never even met a white supremacist.
You have these folks, you have folks who have posted, you have a large number of people, Scott Greer, Blake Neff. I'm just curious why you've been sort of flypaper for these people on your staff.
You're not asking me a question.
That was the question. Why have you been flypaper for these racists?
Deep breath. I've never had a white supremacist work for me. I don't think I've ever talked to a white supremacist. Please let me finish.
And I don't want to fight about labels.
Hold on, slow down. I'm not sure what that means. I know that it's a slur. It's the worst thing one can be. I don't really understand the terms, but let me just say,
you've had to let people go who said objectionable stuff.
Slow down, Ben. I believe that people are not defined by their race, any race, black, white, Asian, pick a race. People are defined, their value derives from A, the fact they were created by God. I believe that. Maybe you don't. I do. And B, by what they do, by the choices they make, by who they are. They have agency. They're not, you know, part of some larger group. They're individuals. I believe in the individual. And I say that virtually every night. Now, if you don't hear that, or if you, for whatever reason, want to claim that I'm some racist, I don't know what to say to you. I'm stating my sincere views as reflected in my personal life and my professional life as clearly as I can. Does that sound racist to you? You've just suggested I'm a white supremacist.
You know, I found that clip disturbing. I think the language of replacement theory, which you've popularized, the language of replacement theory is like specifically the language used by neo-Nazis to recruit people to their cause. It has been, obviously, I'm not suggesting some straight line between words and actions, but it is the phrase that has been used by mass shooters. I wonder if you don't have any
So
compunction or regret about popularizing that?
This is why you are considered correctly a propagandist and not a journalist. Because I just explained in detail, with total sincerity, what I believe. You ignored it and invoked mass shooters. So that's not what you
I
just did.
I asked you how you felt about it. I actually do want to ask you about something. I'd like to ask about. I'd like to ask you about something that actually I think we probably have more common ground on.
How ridiculous you are, and I think it's evident to any fair person watching.
I guess I'm trying to give you an opportunity to respond to things that have been said and written about you. But let's move to something. But I'm really not looking to have a.
Does this sound like racist ideology? And you're like, oh, I'm disturbed by the Media Matters clip for 8 seconds. Like, are you being serious?